The letter arrived, folded like a secret the wind had been carrying for years. Elias Turner stared at it for a long time before opening it, his rough hands hovering above the envelope as if it might vanish. The ranch had been quiet for too long. Too many winters had passed with nothing but the creak of wood, the lowing of cattle, and the echo of his own boots across the empty porch. He broke the seal. The words were simple. A mail-order bride, her name Clara Whitmore. Arrival in 3 days. Elias leaned back in his chair, staring out at the rolling plains glowing under the late afternoon sun. He had signed up months ago during a night when loneliness felt heavier than any storm. He hadn't truly believed anyone would come. The world was large. His ranch was small, and yet someone had chosen him. The thought unsettled him. He spent the next days cleaning, with a quiet desperation he hadn't felt since boyhood. He repaired broken fences, scrubbed the floorboards, even hung fresh curtains his late mother had stitched decades ago. The house smelled of pine soap and nervous hope. When the stagecoach finally appeared on the horizon, Elias stood frozen at the gate. Dust swirled around the wheels as it rolled to a stop. The driver tipped his hat. Then she stepped down. Clara was taller than he expected. Strong-built, broad-shouldered. Her posture steady, like someone who had learned to stand firm against the world. Her dress was plain but carefully mended. She looked around with wide, searching eyes, not afraid but measuring. Their gazes met. For a moment neither spoke. The silence stretched, thick and alive. "You must be Elias," she said softly. Her voice carried warmth. It reached him, in a place he'd forgotten existed. "Yes, ma'am," he replied. "Welcome home." The word surprised them both. The ride back to the ranch was quiet, but not uncomfortable. Clara watched the land like she was memorizing it. The open sky, the grazing cattle, the endless horizon. When they reached the house, she stepped onto the porch and exhaled a breath that trembled slightly. "It's beautiful," she whispered. No one had ever called his ranch beautiful. That night they ate stew by lamplight. Conversation came slowly at first, but each small exchange loosened something between them. Clara spoke of a crowded city, of years spent working in a textile mill, of wanting air that didn't taste like smoke. Elias told her about the land, about storms and harvests and the quiet comfort of routine. When their hands brushed, reaching for the same cup, both pulled back quickly, startled, like they had touched fire. Later, after Clara retired to the spare bedroom, Elias sat on the porch, staring at the stars. He felt a strange mix of fear and wonder. A stranger now slept under his roof, a woman who had crossed the country on faith alone. And for the first time in years, the ranch didn't feel empty. It felt like a beginning. Clara woke before dawn to the sound of cattle lowing and wind, brushing the plains. For a moment she didn't know where she was. Then memory settled gently over her. She smiled. The air was cold when she stepped outside wrapped in a shawl. Elias was already working, his silhouette moving against the rising sun. He noticed her and paused, clearly unsure whether to speak. "You don't have to wake so early," he said. "I want to," she replied. "I didn't come here to sit idle." There was a quiet strength in her tone that impressed him. He handed her a tin mug of coffee. Their fingers lingered this time, neither rushing to pull away. A shared warmth passed between them, subtle but undeniable. They worked side by side that morning. Clara learned quickly, her laughter surprising Elias whenever she nearly slipped in the mud. Each laugh chipped away at the wall around his heart. He found himself watching her when she wasn't looking, the way sunlight caught in her hair, the determined set of her jaw, the gentle kindness she carried even in exhaustion. At midday they sat beneath a lone oak tree. Clara leaned back, eyes closed, breathing deeply. "I've never known quiet like this," she said. "It's loud in its own way, but it's honest." Elias looked at her, truly looked. He saw not a stranger, but a woman rebuilding herself in the open air. "You're braver than you think," he told her. Her eyes opened. "So are you. You invited a stranger into your life." He considered that. "You don't feel like a stranger anymore." The admission hung between them. Clara's cheeks warmed. She didn't look away. That evening a storm rolled in fast and violent. Thunder shook the house. The wind rattled the windows. When lightning split the sky, Clara startled in her room. Without thinking, Elias knocked on her door. "Are you all right?" She opened it, fear flickering in her eyes. Another thunderclap made her flinch. Instinct overrode hesitation. He stepped inside and wrapped his arms around her. She held on. The storm roared outside, but inside the embrace was steady, grounding. They didn't speak. Words would have broken the fragile truth forming between them. When the thunder faded, neither moved immediately. Finally, Clara whispered, "I'm glad I came." Elias rested his forehead against hers. "So am I." In that quiet moment, the ranch felt alive in a way it never had before. Not because the loneliness had vanished, but because it was being shared, transformed into something warmer, something hopeful, something that could grow.